so welcome. And John Ferran on his way there back to his duties and preparing for his great trek in the Rockies. The Newry Writers Group, we are a people of considerable talent and considerable skill, a considerable graw, if you like, for the arts and for writing and such matters. And this gave rise quite naturally a few years back to the Newry Writers Group. And they've been doing good things ever since their formation. CDs have been produced, there's books have been produced, and their latest book is called A Rake of Yarns. And I have two members of the group with me again this morning, Martin Morgan and Bernadette McCann. You're both welcome. How are you?
Thank you, Rowan.
Good to see you. So I suppose I should ask you, first of all, Bernadette, how did you get involved in the business of being an author?
I actually started writing round about the age of 11, Rowan.
Wow.
So now you're not going to ask me what age I am now. So
No.
it's quite a time ago.
Well,
quite a time ago.
15 years ago?
Roughly that, round about the 15.
Yeah.
And hopefully it has matured a wee bit. It might have got a wee bit crazier as I've got older.
Crazy's okay.
I'm hoping it's
I like
matured a wee
crazy.
bit.
Yeah.
It certainly got a lot crazier from I met the Newry Writers Group.
Ah, yeah. So what brought you into writing? What made you start writing at 11?
I think it was actually an English teacher, believe it or not. I know that sounds a wee bit serious.
I do believe it. It was an English teacher that got me interested in writing.
He was probably the one teacher out of all of them that inspired or actually motivated me to do my homework, which was a good start.
You're telling my story here. I know exactly what you're saying.
And again, believe it or not, he was a Newry man, Michael Russell.
Yes.
Michael Russell was the one person, no matter how much homework I was given, it was no problem. And I think it was actually from there. And he would have given us a lot of poetry.
Yes.
And somewhere along the line, I thought, well, I'm going to actually write. I wouldn't have viewed it as poetry at the time.
No.
But I had that feeling, I've got to sit down and write.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting when you look back at what you'd written as a child and the innocence of it.
What was that first one? You'd hardly remember it, would you?
I do remember it because, again, there was a sort of a double edge to it. An uncle of mine who had worked in a Goodyear factory and had had a very, very bad accident, and as a result ended up with a broken neck. But that obviously was a day when things were a bit crazy at home, and as a child I thought, right, broken neck, what does that really mean, a broken neck? But I knew it was serious, and I knew that there was a chance he might die. But the poem started off with this great seriousness about my uncle and I might lose him. But the strange thing was it finished off with, because my uncle was in hospital today, we had to have fish and chips for our tea. And I thought, well, my God, when you look back, she's comparing getting a treat of fish and chips with this uncle who she's afraid of losing.
Yeah, but you weren't afraid. You weren't afraid to tackle the issue. You know,
no.
There are a million things not serious that you could, but you took it on. Martin, what about you? Where did you start?
I always had.
Martin, have you your microphone on, or is it fallen down?
No, you've lost it.
Where is your microphone? It's down there.
Here.
Wow. Can we clip that into you? Sean, can we sort Martin out, please? Oh, there you are.
That's okay.
A woman's hand.
You need a woman. You always need a woman.
So, Martin, it started for you when?
Well, I was educated by the Christian Brothers, and I was always sort of borderline in whatever sort of subjects, but English was always a very keen thing for me, and I always read as much as I possibly could in building up sort of words and how to put things together. And I think it was sort of a latent talent that I had. It was dormant. I never really got into the way of writing until about 5 years ago.
Yes.
And suddenly discovered there's something there, I believe, and this stuff just started coming out of me.
What do you get out of it, Martin?
I get a great sense of Well, it's a challenge, Ron, and you try to me, I try to entertain people with what I write. If I can make them smile.
There's two skills you're employing there. One, the skill of making people laugh, a comedian. Yeah. The other is the skill of putting it down on paper.
Yeah. And it's a very thoughtful process, and it can be very time consuming at times. But if you get into that frame of that framework, you know, and it seems to be just flowing out of me at the minute. I heard people talking about writer's block and stuff.
Oh, you wouldn't know it.
But I wouldn't know that, certainly not at the minute.
Yeah, let's hear some of the stuff. Can we start with your ladies first, Bernadette? What are you going to read us here?
Well, I'm thinking again about my style of writing, Rowan. It seems to swing from one end of the scale to the other. Sometimes it's very serious, other times it's very light-hearted.
And today,
So today we'll start with the sort of the more serious
piece.
The more serious piece.
We're in your hands.
This wee piece is called Timeless Hour, and it's basically about that time in the morning when the world seems to be a little bit quieter, except for nature and the birds. And it was after one morning waking up around 4 o'clock, opening the window and thinking, my God, listen to them. They're like an orchestra. So that's where this came about from. Timeless hour. 4 o'clock in the midsummer's morning. Let the bird recital begin. Orchestral beauty dawning, spontaneous in its rhythm, resonant in its rendition. The select audience all too few. Here I sit with you in fantasy by my side and share the performance. The absence of the conductor and of the penned note serving to enhance the unique refrain. Soft, serene, dulcet rhythm gently guides us from the dusk to the dawn and touches our spirits so deafened with a secret, silent, sultry song. The timeless hour's composition captures our souls in flight, and we must decide to fly into the day or perch in a timeless night, together in an eternal swan song sleep. But our timeless hour has passed, and we are summoned to the sonorous sound of wake.
It's very clever. That's very clever. That's very beautifully done, and also very beautifully delivered. Yeah, that line about the nighttime perch in the, what was that line? That was a beautiful line. Where you about the perch in the
yeah, we must decide to fly into the day or perch in a timeless night.
Perch in a timeless night.
Well,
wow.
It is that thing between also life and death.
Yeah, I know.
That moment.
You're a clever girl.
Oh, thank you, Rowan.
Martin,
come back again.
Where are you going to take us?
I'm going to take you on a wee intriguing piece. It's called Bullet Holes in the Mirrors. I can't find it. What? I can't find it. You can't find what? I'm sure I've looked everywhere. Well, almost everywhere. This is doing my head. Well, maybe I could help if you told me what you're... Oh, hold on. Here it is. See? What do you think? What in the name of sweet Jesus is it? I'm not sure. What does it look like to you? I don't really know. Tell me this. Where did you find it? Outside. Close to the old jalopy with the bullet holes in the mirrors. What do you think I should do? Perhaps it just might be a good idea to put it back where you got it from. Really? Really? Okay.
That's it. That's gorgeous. Yeah, I was fixing my microphone there so that I could talk to you. Very strong, and your delivery there. There's a very substantial element of acting there coming into it in the manner of delivery. It's lovely. It's so good.
Thank
so
you.
what's the next project for the writers group?
Well, we're actually, but what we do is a sort of a cycle in that this is our second book now, and we'll be aiming to do events and book sales and so on, and possibly get grants and so on to go for a third book possibly.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why wouldn't
and maybe a CD.
And maybe a CD.
Maybe even a documentary where you're putting your words over the images of Newry and Mourne.
Yeah.
Well, we're also sometimes we combine some music with the poetry, and that adds another dimension to it.
You're surrounded by people in this part of the world who'll help you there.
Yes.
They're all good.
Yes.
Thank you for coming in. We're
Thank
going to play you some music now.
Thank you.
What sort of music have we got, Sean?
Thank you.
God bless you. Well, yeah, let's have it. Let's do it. That's good. Sean is a great music man.